Welcome to this special Q&A session with IsraTransfer. Joining us are two experts who know the ins and outs of moving money to Israel. Daniel Engelsman, IsraTransfer's head of trading, who specializes in currency exchange strategies, and Daniel Eisenberg, our CCO, who helps clients navigate real estate transactions and large money transfers. Whether you're planning your move, buying a home, or just want to make smarter financial decisions in Israel, this session is for you. Let's get started. Welcome both. So tell us about your journey to Israel.
I made Aliyah in 2008 with my wife. I'm a Zionist. I'm not religious, but I'm a Zionist and went to Jewish schools all my life. Got married in Israel before making Aliyah and didn't see a future to have children in the UK. So before I had kids, we thought we'd make Aliyah and now have two beautiful kids, live in Renana, and don't regret it for a second.
My name is Dan Eisenberg. I grew up in Queens, spent time going to Israel for trips, and spent a couple of years learning in yeshiva. And after college, I knew that Israel was going to be my home. It took me a few years till I was ready to come. 10 and a half years ago, with the help of Nefesh B'Nefesh, my wife and my three boys, we moved to Neve Daniel and couldn't be happier.
And how did IsraTransfer come about?
Working in the UK, from my only job really has always been in the foreign exchange industry, money change industry. And before I made Aliyah, I was looking at what I could do when I make Aliyah. And I thought I'd copy the business model over from the UK that I was working in to Israel, because I was looking around, searching, and couldn't find a company that was going to give me the same kind of level of service and security that I'm used to in the UK. So I thought, why not start it myself? We started very modestly and have grown the business over the last 17 years to a size where we have 30 members of staff. We're employing a lot of Olim, and we believe we give the service that someone making Aliyah is used to from their home country, with the security and peace of mind that they're also used to.
10 and a half years ago, I was living in Riverdale, planning on Aliyah with the help of Nefesh B'Nefesh, and I knew that I needed to bring some of my money over. And I did due diligence on a few different companies, and eventually I chose IsraTransfer because, as Daniel was saying, I wanted a company that was going to offer me a level of service that I was used to in the States. And from checking all the different companies, I wanted to have both the service as well as the safety and the security, because I don't want my money to get lost. And I chose IsraTransfer, and shortly after moving, I happened to have a Shabbat meal with one of the partners, and the rest is history. So for 10 and a half years, I've been here at IsraTransfer. My particular area of specialty is working with people that are buying property from abroad. I help with everything with how to get the money over, how to make the payments, and this way you can have a person who understands property, understands real estate, and understands currency. Together with that service, we're able to really help save a lot of money and a lot of hassle.
What are the most common challenges Olim face when navigating the financial transition to Israel?
A lot of clients are here and want to transfer funds and run into problems because they've not communicated with their bank before they've come here and don't have easy access to their funds. So we recommend that clients speak to their bank before they make Aliyah. Not necessarily tell them that they're moving permanently, but just tell them that you're going to be overseas for a period of time and you might need access to small or large amounts of money. The reason that you should go and speak to your bank is you may run into problems if you don't. They may require one-time passwords sent to a certain number and you might not have access to that number. They may require you to come into the branch in order to initiate a transfer. You may run into a problem where the bank want you to be physically present when you make a transfer. So we suggest that you speak with them because they may require you to set up a power of attorney in order to transfer certain size transfers. And the last thing is you might have a limit on how much you can transfer online. A lot of people have limits of about $10,000 or even $25,000. If you're here and you might be wanting to purchase a property, or cars here isn't so cheap, you'll need a larger amount of money. So you need to make sure you have availabilities to the funds once you're here.
How does the Israeli banking system differ from the US?
One of the challenges that people who are making Aliyah often face is dealing with the Israeli banking system. The Israeli banking system is just very different than the U.S. banking system, at least it was for me. When I was in the States, everyone there wants to help me at the bank. In Israel, it's just a different mentality. In Israel, the mentality of the bank is that they're providing a service for you. If you want to keep your money under your mattress, you can. But if you want the bank to manage your money for you, you pay for that service. And they expect you to say thank you for that. So it's just a very different mentality that when you can understand that the banks in Israel, it works, it's a different system, and eventually you get used to it. It doesn't get better, but you get used to it.
I just want to add that often banks will ask questions that people aren't used to being asked in America or the UK. For example, why are you transferring money to this person? Or, you've just received $10,000, show me where this has come from. Give me a CPA letter. These things are just what happens in this country. We have to ask for certain documentation as well to help people, but you just have to get used to that mentality of providing documentation to prove where your money's from, where you're sending money to. I know in the US and the UK, you can send money pretty much wherever you want without being asked. So just be aware of that as well.
Why is it beneficial to start thinking in shekels rather than dollars, and how can it impact your financial decisions?
I know one of the challenges that I faced when I was thinking about my aliyah was I was used to dollars. In America, we're always used to doing everything in dollars. In Israel, we have a different currency. We have the shekels. So having to change the mindset from dollars to shekels is very important. Your budget has to be in shekels because if you're earning money in shekels, everything you're going to be paying in shekels. So what my recommendation when someone's thinking about a big ticket item like a car, like a house, if you have to have your spreadsheet in dollars, that's fine. Take the lowest that the shekel ever was against the dollar in the past 18 months, and then you could use that as a base, and then everything else will be extra. But start already to beginning to think in shekels. I know it's hard, but that's a tip that you'll come back and say thank you.
Any recommendations for those considering purchasing property in Israel?
It's very important when you think about a big ticket item like buying a house. There, every single shekel matters. A situation like that, it makes a big difference what rate you're going to be getting. And getting a rate that is much lower will result in you having to spend a lot more dollars to get the shekels that you need. So very often people will use their local bank in the States because that's what they're used to. However, the banks in America typically charge 3% for currency services. So for every $100,000, $3,000 is getting lost going straight to the bank. Working with a currency services provider such as IsraTransfer will offer significant savings where we only charge 0.5% off of the exchange rate. So that means that you're saving $2,500 per 100,000 for a typical property purchase. That's close to $1 million. That's a $25,000 savings. So working with a company that is able to provide for you better rates and better service will significantly save you money in the real estate purchase.
Just to add to what you were saying, when you're purchasing a property here in Israel, there's different payment methods that need to be considered. It's not the same as in the US or the UK. Secondhand properties, almost exclusively, you need a banker's check to take to the signing. For new build properties, you need to pay special vouchers. So these things need to be considered as well.
So even if a person had a bank account in the States with great rates, they still wouldn't be able to transact the real estate because they need to be able to get a bank check, and you can't do that unless you have a local bank account, and you can't pay the vouchers unless you have a local bank account. Mm-hmm. And one of the advantages working with IsraTransfer is they don't even need to have a bank account because we're able to make all the payments for them.
Absolutely. Some LLCs purchase property here in Israel. It's a very complicated situation. It's not necessarily completely related to Aliyah, but people like to purchase investment properties in the names of LLCs. It's very difficult to open an account in the name of an LLC in Israel. We help people deal with that without having the need to open a bank account here.
And finally, what would be your top tip for someone considering Aliyah, financially or otherwise?
A general tip that I like to share with people that are going to be coming on Aliyah or purchasing property is work with somebody who not only can speak your language, but is also sensitive to the cultural needs. What I mean by that is, coming from the States, we're used to a certain level of service. We're used to a certain style. And to be able, Israel has so many people that are either Olim or the children of Olim that you can work with professionals who you'll be comfortable with. So there's no need to have to break your teeth or have someone else break their teeth in Hebrew when you can work with people that you'll be much happier with because there won't be any misunderstandings.
And that wraps up our Q&A. We hope you found it informative. For those of you looking to stay updated on currency exchange trends, be sure to subscribe to our weekly podcast with Daniel Engelsman. Don't forget to visit our IsraTransfer blog for regular tips and tools to help you along your Aliyah journey. And finally, if you have any specific questions or need personalized advice, feel free to contact us. We're here to assist with all your needs. Until next time, take care, and we wish you the very best of luck with your Aliyah journey. Disclaimer: this video provides general information about currency exchange and buying or selling currency. It does not constitute legal, financial, or investment advice. Viewers should make independent decisions and seek professional guidance. The company is not liable for any actions taken based on this content.